Well, good evening and welcome back to another 5-minute Friday. Just another little random bimble out crossing County Donegal, and we're quite close actually to, over this way is Mount Errigal, Poisoned Glen, places like that. Fantastic area to bimble around, especially as we're starting to come across or come into autumn. Now, I'm just on a little sort of just spit of land with a few estuaries floating in. The van is parked up just to the right where we're going to stay tonight, and I thought I would just come out. I love wandering around the dunes, and given the fact that it looks like we have a little bit of light, you can see the light on my face, and it looks like we're going to get reasonable light now. Again, it's about an hour and a half before sunset. The sun will probably dip down behind the visible horizon maybe half an hour, 20 minutes before that. I thought, given the conditions, given the fact that I'm wandering amongst the dunes and potentially being able to make something off those mountains in the distance, I thought we'd just record a little 5-minute Friday. So let's go see what we can see. So this is quite difficult, never been here before, and obviously battling the setting sun. I'm going to suggest that I thought initially maybe using those far distant mountains just wasn't going to work because they were just too small in the frame and they weren't really catching a lot of light, even though there's lovely light on me. There's a bank of clouds. There's a bank of clouds that are obviously impacting the sun going through. So I spotted these couple of old wrecks of boats, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just come down and shoot those instead. Maybe some detail, maybe some rusted paint. As I say, I've only got, I want to say, about half an hour before the light goes. Maybe there's something to be had here. The disappointing thing is as well, it looks like tomorrow morning's going to be quite showery first thing in the morning, because it would have been nice to come back out and explore this area tomorrow morning. Obviously we're got the van parked up here, but it might just be a case of playing about with these lovely looking wrecks there. So let's see whether we can give that a go. So I find it really interesting how sometimes you're looking for an image and it kind of just presents itself to you in a very accidental way. So I was initially looking at the paintwork, obviously, you know, maybe a really abstractly shot from there, and the battery on the camera was running low, so went to change the battery. And as I was changing the battery, I obviously had sort of knelt down or sort of looked down, and obviously I just saw this lovely little curvature on the boat that's sort of sitting obviously amongst the curvature of the grass as well. And that's what I thought, right, that's what I'm going to work on. Now, a couple of challenges, not least when we have some lovely light. Oh, sorry for blinding you there. The frame that I would love to get, I'm casting shadow in it. I just love the curve of the boat, and as is quite often the way, just lovely curved shapes can quite often, for me anyway, make for quite an appealing image. But I'm having to watch the shadows, the silhouette, the shadows that I'm actually casting, the tripod legs are casting. Nothing too complex again, 18-135 XT2, no filters at the moment. Would potentially think about a polarizer, maybe just to oversaturate or further saturate some of those colours. I think I'm probably going to focus a little bit on this particular scene here. So let's see whether we can make something. Playing about quite a lot with the little boat here, lovely patterns, but I just happened to turn around just to see what was happening with Errigal, and there's some beautiful side light on it, and just above it the moon is rising. Now you're never going to be able to see it, it's up in there somewhere. And so now I've only got the 18-135 with me. I'd love to have had the 100-400, but that kind of seemed to work. There was a little bit of a gap in the clouds, a little bit of light. I've actually focus stacked this because the bottom of the frame, which is illuminated, which actually gives us a nice little sort of curvature. I kind of wanted that to be a little bit sharp. So even though focusing to infinity may have given me that, why take the risk? So I've actually focused on that foreground bit and then on Errigal itself. But that actually worked out quite well with just a little bit of side light, a little bit of cloud separation, and then the moon. Right, I reckon 10 minutes at most. Let's see whether we can get one more image. Well, I don't think we're going to get that that last image, at least not with the main camera. There were a couple of other little muckabouts with the iPhone. That sun is probably a couple of minutes away from disappearing behind the visible horizon, but it's already gone behind a little bit of a thick bank of cloud. The clouds today have been incredible. Lovely blue sky, white fluffy clouds. Really nice. Now there is the hope, even though we're not going to get any direct light on the foreground, as I wander back to the van, still about 20 minutes before sunset, and maybe get up onto the headland, some of those clouds out on the horizon might take on a little bit of sunset glow. But I guess these 5-minute Fridays are going to be a little bit manic from time to time, because especially when I'm in an area that's I'm not that familiar with, or not familiar with at all in this case. But this is an area I want to come back to. This has got a lot going for it. And of course right now the tide has gone right the way out, so we're completely surrounded by sort of mud flats. So of course you've got maybe some different options there as well. But yeah, some lovely light on these foreground. The light now from Errigal has completely gone, and the moon has actually been covered over as well. So anyway, rushed perhaps, fun nonetheless. As always guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and once again thanks for watching, and until next time, take care, bye bye.